Whoa there, you sexy son of a bitch. I'm going to need you to identify yourself immediately because you just stepped foot into the ValentiVerse. I'm your host, CHRIS VALENTI, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to unpack today. We got to talk about the inauguration of Mango Mussolini and Heir Elon Musk, Trump's executive order crash out. We're talking about Trump's real cabinet, the billionaires at the front row of his inauguration. Maybe try to squeeze in a little conversation about fitness and the importance of staying healthy under this new fascist regime, a quick chat about the TikTok resurrection, and, most importantly, we gotta talk about Marvel Rivals. All right, make sure you fucking subscribe. We are independent media. I barely got sponsors, and I ain't got no secret deals. Your help is what we need. Now, let's get cracking! So, Donald Trump is back in the White House for his second term. Or, according to him, this would be his third term, considering he has still never conceded the 2020 election, like the absolute madman he is. It's only been 2 weeks of the Trump regime. But even in that short amount of time, Trump has managed to weaken the United States more than any president in U.S. history. During his inauguration, he made sure to cover the most important issues on every working-class American's mind, like renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, right? Or making it the official policy of the United States to only recognize that there are two genders. Oh, and of course, the number one thing on every American's mind that we've been demanding for the past 4 years under the cruel Biden regime, planting the U.S. flag on Mars. Now, some wild shit happened after the inauguration. Trump started signing the most insane executive orders known to man. And the First Lady, Elon Musk, started sig-heiling at the victory rally. Immediately, conservatives began to fall in line, pulling every trick that they could to try and defend their new God King, Elon Musk. First thing we're going to do is just watch the clip together so you can come to your own conclusions, okay? Here we go.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
Now, did you notice at the end there when he said, "My heart goes out to you"? You see, that's called plausible deniability. Right? As soon as this clip began rolling out, conservatives everywhere started defending him, saying, no, that's just a Roman salute. Well, no. First of all, the Romans never did this salute. That was from a painting in the 1700s depicting the Romans. Second of all, the salute was popularized in the 1930s by Italian fascist Benito Mussolini in his failed attempt to revive the Roman Empire. Then Mussolini's good friend Adolf Hitler came to visit more often, and Hitler himself adopted the salute. Thus, it became infamous throughout the world due to the cruelty enacted by the Nazi regime. The Roman salute is the Hitler salute. And facts don't care about your feelings. Now, let's move on to the next conservative coping mechanism, which is, he said he was pouring his heart out to the crowd, that's all. Boy, oh boy, does that one fucking piss me off. I'm a human being. You're a human being. Humans have plenty of ways to communicate non-verbally. So I'm going to use my hands to tell you that my heart goes out to you. You ready? Notice how my palm is up? Notice how I'm not slapping the side of my chest and then sig-heiling with a fucking grunt at the end like a psycho? See, this is natural. Now, what we're going to do, let's compare Elon's salute to some proud Nazis, unlike Elon, who is afraid to say it with his full-ass chest. Avi, roll the clip.
Hail Hitler! Hail Hitler!
God damn, that's good form, Elon. I mean, look at the tucked thumb. I'm so glad that you did it twice so that we could really see that you meant it, you slimy, shit-eating robber baron. And if you still think that there's any ambiguity, Last week, Elon just gave a speech at the AfD in Germany, the modern incarnation of the Nazi Party. Now, guys, this all happened on day one. This is all just the optics. It's not even the meat and potatoes. The real scary shit? Now, that comes from the executive orders that Trump passed during his first week in office. Guys, the average president passes 4 executive orders in their first week. He issued 26. He did so many that the only way that we could print them out was by putting them on a goddamn CVS receipt. So here, we're going to run through just a handful of the executive orders that we've got here. We've got executive order, restored the use of for-profit prisons. Isn't that great, guys? We've got executive order allowed for the lobbying of the executive branch of employees. Now, if you don't know what that means, that essentially means that he legalized bribing, okay? We've got raising the price of drugs for users of Medicaid and Medicare. So, we're all complaining about, health insurance all fucking us over with the price of drugs. Don't worry. Trump's going to signed an executive order to increase the price for you. Then we've got made it harder to apply for Medicaid in the first place. We've got attempted to terminate birthright citizenship. This one's important, guys. That's embedded within the U.S. Constitution. Our founding fathers understood that, okay? And Donald Trump wants to circumvent the U.S. Constitution. We've got renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America on all U.S. maps. Isn't that a great use of our fucking money? We've got designated cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Now, do you know what that means? That means that Donald Trump no longer needs Congress's approval to go to war in Mexico, because you don't need congressional approval to wage war on a terrorist organization. Good play, Donald. We've got he canceled all federal funded DEI programs. Fuck you. Okay, we've got revoked the Equal Employment Opportunity Executive Order from 1965. Guys, this is a civil rights era bill which made it illegal to discriminate against federal employees when hiring. Being like, oh, I don't want to hire that guy, he's black. Well, guess what? Now that's fucking legal. Thanks, Donald. We've got shut down the Reproductive Rights for Women website. Oh, no, my bad, guys. I thought Project 2025 wasn't real. And then we've got removed the U.S. Constitution from United States government official website. What? Last one, he said he isn't confident in the ceasefire between Palestine and Israel. He actually said, he goes, well, that's their war. Then why are my tax dollars funding it? I know that was a lot, guys. I'm aware. I know that might have been dramatic and impactful, but everything I just said is real. It's absolutely horrifying. But I really want to talk about that last part for a second. I want to talk about how Trump and Netanyahu met at Mar-a-Lago a month before the election. I want to talk about how while the Biden administration was working to facilitate a ceasefire, begrudgingly, because Joe Biden is an ideological Zionist through and through, while all of those deals were happening, Donald Trump was making a deal to withhold the hostage trades until he won the election and could then take credit for it. Now, I refuse to believe that it is a coincidence that the man who stole Ronald Reagan's slogan, "Make America Great Again," who is seemingly obsessed with Ronald Reagan, just happened to do a one-to-one copy of Reagan's treasonous hostage negotiation with the Iranians? Now listen, guys, I know that people such as myself have been screaming the word fascism for years now. And because of that, it has truly lost some of its meaning. Some of you don't even know what it is or how to recognize it. Luckily, we have your favorite teacher and our favorite correspondent in the studio tonight. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, please welcome Professor Valenti.
Hey, thanks for having me back, Chris. It's always a pleasure. For those of you who follow the newsletter, yes, I did find my son. No, I did not get him back. Hey kids, welcome back to History 101. I figured that now would probably be a good time to teach you about a little thing called fascism. You see, fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement that relies on violence in order to enact their political agenda. Some of the most famous examples of fascism would be Benito Mussolini, leading Italy into a fascist regime, or Adolf Hitler, leading Germany into the Nazi regime. Despite both of those nations losing World War II, their ideologies did not die. In fact, the idea of fascism spread further than it ever had before. Here are some key characteristics of a fascist regime. Number 1, a dictator. A single, powerful leader with absolute authority, often charismatic and appealing to the masses. Number 2, concentrated power. All the power ends up in the hands of the state, with limited individual freedoms and the suppression of dissent. Number 3, heightened militarism. An emphasis on military strength and preparedness, often with aggressive expansionist policies. Number 4, ultra-nationalism. Intense national pride and belief in the superiority of one's own nation or race. Number 5, the suppression of opposition with force. The use of force, intimidation, and violence to silence any opposition to the regime. Number 6, state-controlled flow of information. Control over various aspects of society and economy, including the media, education, and businesses. Number 7, the rejection of democracy. Believing that certain people are all-powerful and above you at the expense of your own interests. Wait. Oh my God, that's us. That's us, isn't it? Uh-oh. Now, remember, kids, Professor Valenti says it's okay to punch a Nazi. Back to you, Chris.
Well, that was enlightening. Listen, guys, me and every other leftist on this platform, like Hassan Piker and Kyle Kalinske, we have been screaming from the mountains that the United States is becoming a fascist oligarchy for years. And now the proof is in the goddamn pudding. Take a look at these people. These are some of the richest people on planet Earth. I mean, hell, this guy is literally the richest man in human history. Notice how they have better seats at the inauguration than Trump's literal cabinet members? The people who are supposedly going to be working by his side for the next 4 years. Do you want to know why these CEOs got better seats? Because they're the real cabinet. Guys, Elon Musk, we already know enough about that piece of shit. Mark Zuckerfucker, Jeff Bezos, Sundar Pichai, Tim Cook, a cabinet made by the billionaires and for the billionaires. They now have an absolute vice grip over every single sector of the United States government. These people put their money together and purchased the United States from a fat, greedy, 80-year-old mama's boy that lost all semblance of empathy when his mother died. Ain't that right, Donald? Now, you see, the difference is that this time, we may not make it out. And while these billionaires continue to control our government, they're waging a war on breakfast. First, strange how we didn't mention the price of eggs once in any of the 46 executive orders. See, this week alone, avian flu has torn through chicken populations, drastically shooting up the price of a dozen eggs to nearly $8 here in New York. Okay, then Trump threatened to levy 25% tariffs on Colombia. You know, where your Colombian coffee comes from? Because they didn't want to accept military flights from the U.S. Finally, because of all these deportations, 75% of migrant farm workers aren't coming to work. And our massive citrus harvest is going to be demolished. That means your scrambled eggs, your coffee, your morning cup of OJ, they're all currently fucked. And that means that these price gouges are going to be coming for your bacon, your sausage, your triple stacks of pancakes at Denny's. Next thing you know, you're going to be dropping fucking $70 for the ultimate omelet platter. Now, guys, as ICE begins rounding up immigrants even right near the Dumbo studio that we're shooting this in here in Brooklyn, and the Proud Boys begin to march with swastikas on their arms, these billionaires will profit. They will laugh. They will clink their champagne glasses from their ivory towers and their mega yachts, while we, the working class, will be forced into the shadows and replaced by AI. Fight, resist, and protest. Speaking of protest, let's talk about something, okay? If you consider yourself to be even somewhat of a revolutionary, or there's a 1% chance that you will go to a protest in the next 4 years, it is probably time for you to start working out. Specifically on your cardio. Now, you might think you're going to be fine, but you never know when shit hits the fan. The cops will not hesitate to tear gas you, to shoot you with rubber bullets, to wrongfully detain you. It is your job to be fit enough to fight back. You would be surprised by how quickly an adrenaline dump will deplete you when combined with extreme cardio, such as running through a crowd filled with tear gas. Do more cardio. I do cardio every single day. I like to do increment sprinting, right? And then a nice hour-long weight training workout. You know what? Let's bring out Trainer Valenti, and he'll give you a workout designed for my fellow comrades. Trainer Valenti, get these kids in shape!
Thank you, Chris. Hello, fellow American man. All radical leftists must know these basic workouts in order to achieve maximum power within the swoletariat. Remember, you can always use what you have around the house like cast iron skillet. First workout we're going to be doing is 10 reps of the proletariat press. Always remember, comrades, you are lifting to raise all workers out of poverty. It is not about you. It is about the collective. Next we are going to do 10 reps of hammer and sickle curls. You have to remember, comrade, reject the pain, like democratic socialists reject capitalist electoral politics. Yagatuvati church, comrade, big mummy milkers. After this, we move on to 3 sets of socialist squat. Let's make a world where no one is too poor to live, and no one is too weak to sweat. Nol, nol, chatiri, nol, nol, chatiri. You're going to be holding up protest signs for a while, comrade. So make sure your shoulders are prepped. You have to keep your arms high for a very long time when fighting for freedom of the working class. Things will not be easy for you, comrade. You must push, push, and keep your arms in the sky for at least 60 seconds, comrade. Oh, Lenin, please. Even as we eat rich, make sure to eat some protein, comrades. Believe it or not, the bourgeoisie is quite low in protein. And finally, to end your workout, we are going to be doing some comrade cardio. A quick run. Follow me.
Is he coming back? No? Okay. I guess while he's gone, let's talk about bias. See, every news source has a bias, okay? And the best that you can ask for is that they tell you their bias right off the rip. And this is why I'm about to go into an advertisement for Ground News, a service that I found through another YouTuber's advertisement, and I actually find it useful. See, Ground News is an app and website that combines news from all around the world in one place, so you can compare coverage of the same story from different outlets and compare their biases. See, Ground News has become my main way to read news from across the spectrum and see how each different outlet covers the same story. For example, we just talked about executive orders, right? If you go to Ground News and you look up executive orders, you can see the titles and where the biases lie. For example, you see how Ground News has labeled this as right-leaning? And the headline is,
Trump delivers on campaign promises with a slew of executive orders.
But this same story, in an outlet that's left-leaning, the headline is,
Floridians may see impacts of Trump's slew of executive orders.
Guys, come to your own conclusions and subscribe to Ground News with my link in the description to get 40% off the Vantage subscription. And rate this ad 1 to 10 in the comments down below. Once you do that, you can use Ground News instead of scrolling on TikTok. Oh, TikTok. TikTok. Yes, okay, TikTok. Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? What was the point of all the theatrics that they had creators like me fucking crying, doing tricks on it, begging, going, please follow me on Instagram. Please follow me on YouTube. Goodbye, everybody. I fucking love you all. I mean, bro, there were creators who destroyed their entire image by admitting they were lying about their specific grift. Y'all were acting like the fucking meteor that hit the dinosaurs was on its way, okay? Including myself. Regardless, the app went dark for like 12 hours and then came back up with this, thank you, President Trump, fucking notification on this. Dude, that made me sick. That made me sick to my stomach. Like, guys, did we all just collectively forget that this guy tried to ban the app with an executive order during his first term? Hello! And yes, I know, the TikTok ban is a bipartisan agreement. The Democrats led the fucking charge, and they absolutely deserve the blame that they are getting. But oh my God, guys, do you not know how to read between the lines? Trump helped start this fucking fire, and now that he's putting it out, you're gonna praise him? This motherfucker is gonna force the sale into someone like Elon Musk or most likely Mark Zuckerberg so that the United States State Department can finally have full control over every single popular social media app within the United States. Just like Professor Valenti said, if you control the media, then you control what the populace thinks. I got a fucking ad for Instagram Reels on my TikTok For You page. What? Bro, as a content creator, if I even mention the name Instagram or YouTube or Twitch, my video is immediately suppressed. Why? Because I'm advertising TikTok's direct competition on their platform. Seeing an ad for Instagram Reels on TikTok is like seeing an ad for Popeyes in a fucking KFC. I believe TikTok will stay, but the algorithm will probably change to a pro-State Department style propagandized version of the TikTok that we know and love. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm yet to know what that feels like. All this politics, it's so chaotic. It's pure chaos. Pure chaos. Pure chaos! God, I fucking hate Wanda so much. We're talking about Marvel Rivals now, guys. I mean, season 1 is about to come out, guys. Have you seen the leaks for season 1? So, we've already got Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. Both great characters, and Invisible Woman got me acting up for real with that pay-to-see skin. You see what I did there? That's a double entendre, pay-to-see skin, pay-to-see. Go fuck yourself. Now, we actually have leaks straight from the secret lab at Rivals HQ. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got your favorite drill instructor here, ready to get you primed and greased up for the rest of season 1. Get ready for General Valenti!
Hey there, shithead! Look at you! You finally stopped using Spider-Man! Realized you were buns, did you? Good on you, son! Now, listen here, soldiers. The government done went and leaked information regarding the upcoming season of Marvel Rivals. And as your commanding officer, it is my job to brief you on the mission. Now pay attention, fuckstick! For all you civil rights-loving nerds, we got a whole bunch of them X-Man mutants coming to the battlefield. Mrs. Batty herself, Emma Frost, will indeed be deployed to provide heavy support as a vanguard. Now, ain't that something, all you gooners? Next on the list, we got Jean Grey, some sort of duelist, goes by the name Phoenix. Sounds like a crock of shit, if you ask me. Last, but certainly not least, we got word of a sick fuck by the name of the Hood, also here to provide vanguard support. Remember, in front of every decent DPS is a better tank. Now, we got some rumors about Jubilee, Gambit, and Rogue potentially joining us. But them's be rumors, and I don't like rumors. Onto the battlefield. You will be deployed to a Dracula-themed battleground, fighting against the blood-sucking bastard himself. No, not Elon Musk. Do yourself a favor and bring a garlic necklace. Maybe even a wooden stake if you're trying to play safe. Now, you never know what you're going to run into on the battlefield, boys. You got to stay vigilant, soldiers. I'll see you on the battlefield. Hooah! Come on!
Thank you so much, General Valenti. We really do appreciate your service. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. Moral of the story. See, Trump's first 2 weeks in office Whether you voted for him or you voted against him, you cannot deny that these past 2 weeks have been wildly chaotic. We got the President of the United States talking about planting the United States flag on Mars, while simultaneously signing bills that legalize discrimination based on race. Not to mention that the man tasked with planting the U.S. flag on Mars just sig-heiled twice in front of the entire nation and then gave a speech at a Nazi rally. Moral of the story is this. The United States government is being transformed into a crypto-fascist oligarchy, with the richest people in this nation pulling the strings of our puppet president. Speaking of fascism, guys, you are smarter than they think. As the upcoming weeks and months go by, keep your eyes and ears open. The establishment of fascism within the United States has been occurring since 1945, and we are entering the end stage of its cancerous takeover. When people start to attack you for calling out fascism for what it is, remember them cheering for Elon Musk after he sig-heiled twice. Moral of the story is this. We have seen what you cheer for. Your boos mean nothing. On to the next point. Fitness. Guys, we talked about fitness and health on the show, not because I'm some gym rat, which I am, and not because I believe we all need to have 5% body fat. We may joke about the workouts, but you need to be strong and able when it comes to time for a revolution. Societal change does not happen on the phone. It happens on the streets. And I want you all to be on the streets with me all day long. The only way to achieve class consciousness is if we stand together, figuratively and literally. And those of us who can, should. Moral of the story is this. The ruling class relies on our laziness. Don't become the hyper-consumer that they want you to be. Which brings us to our next point. Trump's oligarchy, or as I like to call them, the cabinet. Guys, I thought the Republican Party was all about small government, freedom of speech, small businesses, all that stuff, you know? So why are conservatives suddenly changing their tone and handing over the country to the billionaire class? MAGA, I'm talking to you now, okay? Don't you find it concerning that Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Tim Cook, and Sundar Pichai, all CEO tech giants, are rubbing shoulders with the President of the United States? Moral of the story is this. Donald Trump just sold our nation to the billionaire class. Speaking of billionaires, let's wrap up the TikTok ban. Folks, what you are seeing unfold before your eyes is the American State Department trying to limit your First Amendment right. The oligarchs in control of the information flow have almost gotten full control of the media. Mainstream media like Fox and CNN, well, they've been completely bought out by lobbyists. We all knew that. But now the social media platforms that were designed for us to speak freely and share our ideas are being gobbled up one by one. Facebook and Instagram, owned and regulated by Mark Zuckerberg. Twitter, owned and regulated by Elon Musk. Hell, even YouTube, it's owned and regulated by Sundar Pichai. All three of whom were at the inauguration, all buddied up to Donald Trump. The last piece of the puzzle was TikTok. And guess who was at the inauguration? Show. But Singapore, I'm senatorian. I like that one. Once the government purchases TikTok or bans it, the flow of information will finally be within the vice grip of the Conservative Party. Moral of the story is this. Prepare for the flow of propaganda and prepare for people around you to fall for it. Finally, a lighter note to end this on. Marvel Rivals! This game has absolutely become my favorite game. I think that the empty hole that Black Ops 6 left behind for thousands of gamers is finally being filled. And the reason it's working so well is because of the nostalgia. Nostalgia is powerful as hell, guys. And every time I boot up Rivals, it reminds me of the comic books that I read as a kid. I fucking love Spider-Man. It reminds me of the old cartoons and movies that made me fall in love with Spider-Man. I mean, this upcoming season is our first taste at what the future of this game is going to look like. And I'll tell you right now, I'm giddy. All right, everybody, listen, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below what your porn name is, and I'm going to rank it 1 to 10. All right. As always, here's a Luigi cam to soothe your soul, and have a good one, folks.
Luigi! Hi, Luigi. Hi, Luigi. Luigi.